Hello guys, it's Big Dave, and today we're doing another Raid Shadow Legends video, and specifically we're doing Dwarf Faction Wars 21. It's been asked by one of my followers to start focusing and looking at new champs within Faction Wars, because since a lot of these videos were done a long time ago, a lot of the other content creators from what I've seen, and a lot of the champs haven't really been updated. So I'm going to try and go through as many of these factions as I can when they appear within Faction Wars, and go through how I do it and how you guys can do it and the options you can use in order to do it. So okay, so I'll go over the team initially first. So obviously here I run Melga in the lead for the HP aura, because obviously the boss can hit fairly hard, so the more HP the better. I find if you've got her, without question use her. When I did my original run with her, she literally got me the 3 stars. Then obviously we rock Gala, who's at the time was in a Savage set when I did it. She's now in Relentless because I've moved her gear onto somebody else. She still does a very good job here, but the main damage dealer here is the Fusion Lego Hundig. Like you all know, this guy is insane. I love him. I'm trying to book him out because he needs so many bucks. But an outstanding Nuka arena champ, progression, dungeons, endgame dungeons. And then we've gone with the other fusion, but under Priest Brogni. Again, another OP over the top champ. Yeah, brings a lot of utility, keeps your team up. And then we've gone with Morley, who I used in my original comp. So there's 3 of my original and 2 new guys. Because I know these guys have come out in the last couple of months, and I know a lot of people have pulled them and gone for the fusion, even though the Brogni fusion was fairly tough. But the Hundig one I felt wasn't too bad, considering they were giving you a Nuka, especially a Dwarf Nuka, which the faction is highly lacking if you don't have Trunder, which I know most people don't. But again, yeah, I'll go over the run, and then I'll go over the gear, and then tell you what you can use in order to replace most of these guys. Like, I would say Brogni and Hundig are probably a must for this, for the damage and the block debuffs on the boss. Now, I'll run it on auto, but what I would suggest when I'm going through the run, I'll go through how you guys should do it and how it's done. So we'll just get into it. So as you'll see, Brogni, I think Brogni is quickest here. I could be wrong. It could be Morley. I think Morley's slightly quicker. Yeah, it's Morley. Okay, so Morley into Brogni, and then yeah, then we put up Melga's continuous heal, which also really helps. You're probably thinking my Hundig is fairly slow, and he is, because I use him in a go second, so he does more damage. So he's basically there just to. He's got mastery to allow him, like his mastery there, which procs every time an enemy gets. I believe every time an enemy gets hit, he gains turn meter, or he gets hit. One of the two. There you go. So yeah, so we'll take out Vrask, and then the nuisance here, Torture Hound, because he reses himself, and there's weirdly no block. Well, I think it's 1 block reviver in this faction, I think. But yeah, so Morley's just wasted her provoke. This is where, if you were running it off manual, which is what I suggest you do when you're doing this, is don't waste Morley's. If you've got Morley, don't waste her provoke on Torture Hound. Wait for this, because here the issue here is plainly obvious. It's Man-Eater. If he goes unkillable, you can't put buffs up. They're unkillable. You can still whittle down their health. Well, that's not good. Right, I think Morley will just. No, she won't. This will probably. There we go. Yeah, she's just luckily enough got it off. Yeah, but on manual, guys, you would keep all of their big moves, because even if somebody dies to Torture Hound, which can happen, you can then just res with either Morley or Melga. So that's what you end up doing here. That's not good. But the good thing is, even if Morley does die, we've got Melga here to pick her up. which can happen. Again, this is kind of crazy. Like Gala in Relentless is similar to Rotas, but she doesn't have the multipliers. But I like her. You know, very, very good champion. If you've managed to pull her on the last voids or any point, build her out for this, because she can single target any enemy that you want to get rid of. So in this case, if you came in here with all your moves on cooldown, Man-Eater is your target, or Steel Skull, depending on how quick you are. Like, I always go Steel Skull because he can heal Man-Eater, because Man-Eater does have a lot of HP, because obviously he's a HP based champ, which means here he will. There we are. So this is done. What I'll do now, oh no, so one left, that's Draco, my bad. Right, so okay, just gonna show you the boss's skills, okay, just to give you an idea of why this guy is really, really tough. So he's basically immune to stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, block active skills, block passives, fears, and true fears. Not that really happens. So you get Torment in you and freeze him. So but this is the one that hurts. Fills his champion's turn with 2% for every 1% of HP he loses. So what that effectively means is, every time you hit him, he gains turn meter. Every time he loses. So the harder you hit him, the more turn meter he creates. There's this one, this removes all debuffs from the champion, places a true fear on them. What you can do here, this can be resisted, but you can also use Brogni's block debuffs. I'm not sure whether his debuffs are here ready, but I'll run it on auto just to give you a look. So let me get this on. So yeah, it isn't. So what will happen now? Oh, there we are. Melga's put up the shield, so now he's targeting Herndig. Like, I also use Mountain King here, sometimes instead of Herndig. Herndig might die. Oh no, Herndic's alright. Herndic's good. So Herndig will heal now off that continuous a little bit. The problem is now is that we're running 2 reses. So if Herndig drops, which is he might survive this. I don't know. I don't think he will survive this if I'm right. Oh no, he just about survives it, and the passive and Brogni's passive come into effect there. And the longer into the fight you go, if he dies towards the end, he's an easy pickup because I've got 2 reses. Yeah, it's very difficult. That as you can see, the turn meter's going. It's like, how is he gaining so much turn meter? Yeah, Gala just doesn't care because she just wants to keep going with extra turns. Yeah, so he's dead. So Melga will pick him up, but she'll put a shield on him, which is good. Probably better if Morley does it, because she puts a block damage. But you would run this on manual, and then what you would do is constantly keep picking Herndig up, because that's how this run does. There we are. So there we are. So this should be a 3 comfortably now, because Herndig can't get hit, and he will get hit. Oh no, he goes after Gala. Okay, that kind of makes sense. So let's have a see if this does it for us. Probably does. Yeah. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Done. So yes. So the majority of the damage goes to Herndig and Gala. I should really put Herndig in speed boost for this, but I just left him in the gear he's already in. But I'll go over their gear just to give you an idea of what I use and how you can change it and what other champs you can use. So here's Herndig. As you can see, he's really slow. Did I put speed? No, I actually did put speed boots back on him. Okay, so that makes sense. Still really slow, but his attack is neat. I want it near 5,000 because I use him in arena, but I need him booked because of his multipliers. His damage just ramps crazily off books. Unfortunately, he's really book heavy. So yeah, I would say there are other options. Like, you could use Mountain King if you've got Mountain King. There are not many rare options. Let me just have a quick look at the rares. Not the rares, the epics for this, just to give you an idea of who else you could actually use. So if we go into Dwarfs, where's Dwarfs? It's down here. So, like, you could use Geomancer. Could really be good. You could also use Grizzled. Doesn't do a great deal of damage, but he brings attack down, which means that if you've booked him, you can effectively take Brogni out if you haven't got Brogni and replace him with Grizzled. If you've got Brogni, use Brogni. If you haven't, use Grizzled, because Grizzled does the same thing. But obviously he doesn't have the utility of Brogni. He has attack down and a heal reduction, which is pointless on the boss, but you can use him. I tried using Ragnar. The problem is, when I did it, the AI manipulation wasn't there. You couldn't change his A2, so he just kept dying all of the time. So I ended up taking him out, and that's when I ended up using... I think I used Mountain King, I think, off the top of my head. Another replacement you could use, and I like this girl, I got her, is this. With this, with Cornelia, if you've managed to get her on the last rotation, on the last fusion, she does a sleep on a A3, I'm gonna say. Yes, an A3. So it can be booked down to a 2-turn. So imagine it a little bit like Kaima without. But what you would do with this girl is you would run a Gala or a single hitter, put everyone to sleep, and then get a Gala to go in on the one you want to get rid of. So on wave 1, Torture Helm, or is it Torture? I think it's Torture Helm. Or I always go after Broadma because of the res, and obviously puts a block damage on when he reses. But this tremendous champion. Now, I don't know whether they fixed her AI. I haven't used her because, to be fair, I've got Morley. I don't need to, but she is a definite option to replace Morley because of the sleep. It's not the same as Provoke, but you've got to be a bit more clever with it. So you would use the sleep on the first wave, and then you would whittle down as many of them as you can. And if you need to use it again on the go after it runs out, like you can put, I don't think sleep can be extended. No, it can't be extended. I was going to say you could use Master Hexer on her. No, Master Hexer, but I don't think it extends sleep. So yeah, I would use this, and obviously she has a heal. Does she have a heal? I think the heal is when buffs fall off, when the sleep buff falls off. I believe that's what's broken on her at the moment, but I don't know whether they fixed it. Geomancer is another option. Again, though, he's attack based. He doesn't have any AoEs, but he has a full turn meter decrease. So Geomancer, without any question, is an option. So you could take him in on the boss, HP burn, and deplete his turn meter fully. So the hit would deplete it. He would still gain turn meter for the health he's lost, but Geomancer would be a good option on the boss. I don't know about the waves because he doesn't bring a great deal of damage. He brings the HP burn, which is good for clan boss, but doesn't bring that much damage. So if you haven't got Brogni, I would use Grizzled. If you haven't got Herndig, I would go with Gala and possibly Geomancer. And to replace Morley, I would use Cornelia. There are options now, guys. There wasn't when I did it. Like, none of these existed. Cornelia wasn't there. Geomancer wasn't there. Fodbo wasn't there. Demetha, the new girl that's just come out now, wasn't there. Again, another one you can use. Block damage is going to be amazing on the boss. There's a lot of options now in Dwarf. A lot. I do plan on getting Demetha, and I will showcase her in here to show what she could do, because on the boss, anywhere really, but again, you'd have to have a Grizzled or a Brogni with her because of the second wave, because of the block buffs by Norog, the Unkillable, the Poisons, Draco, putting on decreased defense on weekend, because you do not want that going on, because that can hurt. Could be an end. It can be a wipe for, like, if you haven't built your champs correctly. But yeah, so obviously I used Brogni, Herndig, Morley. Where was the other ones? Gala and Melga. I think Melga is a must because of the res. If you've got Melga, build her out, high HP, fast, book her. Without question, book her A3, I'm going to say it is, the A3. So that, like, I've got that booked on mine, so it's down to a 5, I believe. I think I've booked her. Yeah, I also use her in, I was using her in Nether Spider, but I pulled her I pulled her back a couple of weeks ago, so she's now out of that, and now Beck is in. But she goes in on off affinity when it's mad, when it's spirit, which I believe it is at the moment. So yeah, but that's just another subject. But yeah, Melga is a must, I would say. I would say Gala, you need damage. Like Fogbo can be good because of his decreased defense and weaken. I don't have him, so I can't use him. Geomancer for the boss. But Brogni, if you've got Brogni and you've got Hundig, you can do this without Morley. Without any question. You just need somebody to manipulate the waves better for you. And obviously if you're building Hundig, build him fast. So I would try and get him, if you're mid-game, try and get him in crit rate instead of crit damage like I have. You don't have to go savage. You don't have to go crazy with him. He does a lot of damage, even just with his basic kit, because he hits really hard. That AE3 is amazing because it means you can double hit one person, and if you put it on manual, that's what you can do. So if you can, guys, leave a like, follow, hit the notification bell so you're notified when my videos go live, and yeah, just keep on coming, keep on enjoying. I'll be doing another one of these probably in a couple of days. I'm trying to go over the tough ones. If there's any others you want me to go over, please, I'll link my Discord in here. If you don't want to use Discord for whatever reason, use the comment section or message me. Probably use the comment section, it's probably easier. Comment section, and then I can look at different ones to do, because I can do most of them. I can't do all of them, I'll openly admit that. Some of them were very, very difficult. I imagine they'll probably be the ones you ask for, but I will have a go at any one of them to see if I can get it done for you guys. So this is Big Dave, out.